Good morning, everyone. It's May, I think the last time I did a video, I said May 5th. I don't know what day I was thinking about, but I think it's May 8th or 9th. I'm not sure. Uh, that's okay. I can't find my phone. I seem to have misplaced my phone. My mom and I ran some errands yesterday, and I must have left it in the back of the seat of the car, I hope. Um, so I have no way of reaching people by phone today. I'm sorry. Hello, gorgeous. Anyway, I did my review of Virginia Woolf yesterday. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf yesterday, and I couldn't remember what came after that. And but I knew I had did a top 10 list somewhere, and I found it last night. And the way the rest of the list reads is that number 8 is Shakespeare in Love, number 9 is Tess by Roman Polanski, and number 10 is A Thousand Acres. Um, and so that's the next three. So I was looking at the list and I was thinking, okay, is that the right order? Well, for one thing, number 7, if number 8 is Shakespeare in Love, it's the only comedy in my list. I mean, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is actually funny at times, but it's very dramatic. And number 1, of course, Ordinary People is dramatic. Number 2, um, The Hours is not comedic. Number 3, Persona is not comedic. Number 4, The Danish Girl is not comedic. Number 5, Cries and Whispers is not, almost like demonic, is not comedic. Uh, uh, and then number 6 was what, Yentl? But Yentl is funny. Yentl has some humor in it, but it's not dramatic so much. It's a film with music. And number 7 is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So number 8, if it is Shakespeare in Love, is my only comedy in the top list because Tess is dramatic, and number 10, uh, Thousand Acres is not comedic. And I'm looking over at Tess, the dog that I have 99.9991% adopted. Makes me want to move Tess up to number 8. Um, but I think maybe Shakespeare in Love is the right place. Um, it puts the comedy higher on the list. It lets people know that I'm not all about drama. I hate drama, in fact, but I do find myself to be dramatic, and I certainly am drawn to drama. Um, so Shakespeare in Love, like I said, I'm not sure if it's number 8, so I don't know what this where this video is going. I guess it's more just me talking out loud and maybe looking at the 3 films and thinking to myself, like, okay, so why are they in the order they're in there? Why are they in there in the appropriate place? Am I missing out on the film? I mean, first of all, if I have a top 10 list of favorite films, Jessica Lange better be in there somewhere, and she was in A Thousand Acres. Now, she's done other films. She's done Tootsie, which could be another comedy, which is probably one of my favorite comedies of all time, next to Shakespeare in Love. And like I said, Jessica Lange is in that, and she won an Academy Award for that. And also, I could put Frances in there, which she won an Academy Award for Best Actress. And now Frances is a very dramatic, almost like that's a very depressing film. I mean, I have to admit that when we talk about The Hours and we talk about some other films on my list that people say are depressing, I'm not going to argue with that one. But if someone said Frances is really depressing, it is because it's based on Frances Farmer, who was a famous actress in the 20s and 30s or something, not 20s, 30s or 40s, maybe even not even that early. But anyway, she had a very tragic life. And but Jessica Lange, who won an Academy Award for it, her performance is well, it's spectacular, really. It truly is. And she won an Oscar for it. And wait a minute, no, go back. She did not win an Oscar for Frances. This is what happened. Jessica Lange is probably one of the first actresses, if not the first, to have been nominated twice in 1 year. And that year, whichever year that was, must have been in the 80s, she was nominated for Best Actress for Frances, playing Frances Farmer, true life actress Frances Farmer, who basically went insane and was institutionalized. And she was also nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Tootsie. Now, the way this works is, if you've seen Tootsie, you know how funny it is, and you know that Jessica Lange is in it, and she's really good. But is she worthy of an Oscar for it? I don't think so. But what happened is, I think she deserved it for Frances, but she was up against Meryl Streep for Sophie's Choice, and there was no way anybody was going to beat Meryl Streep in Sophie's Choice, because that is one that's not even on my top 9 female performances, which is kind of a little bit shocking because her performance in Sophie's Choice is, which she won Best Actress for, Meryl Streep is like describing Jessica and Frances is a spectacular performance. It's a breathtaking performance. It's a challenging role. My God, is it challenging? Just that one scene of Sophie's Choice, which is what the whole book is. I mean, the whole it is based on the book, but which the whole movie is about. The title, I mean, is that she's in the Holocaust and she's got a little boy, and a little girl, and the guy actually, that concentration camp Nazi, told her that she had to make a choice. She had to make a choice, but about which one of her children she wanted to keep. Can you imagine? And she has to play that part, that role, that scene, and it's so heartbreaking. I mean, it would be like telling anybody, whether it's children or two people or two animals that you love, and you have to choose one, that you love both equally, and you have to choose one over the other. One goes to the gas chamber, and the other one you get to keep, and probably go to the gas chamber anyway. But what a just that scene alone is worthy of an Oscar. But she goes beyond that. Meryl Streep, similar to Jessica Lange, is that she's emotionally raw and not afraid to go to dark places. And then, like I said, we have Shakespeare in Love, number 8. We have 9. So sorry, it's early. It's almost 5. It's 5. 4:58. Tess, or Roman Polanski. Which I absolutely love this film. It's over 3 hours long. Never boring to me. Not one scene. And then number 10, 1,000 Acres. And like I said, going back to Jessica Lange, I feel like I have to have a Jessica Lange movie in there somewhere. And she's my favorite actress. And I went with 1,000 Acres, I think, because not so much that it's that great of a film, although I think it is a great film. It certainly did not get the recognition I think it deserved. But it's in there because Jessica Lange plays Jenny, and it's a character that, much like all the great performances I've seen, that has a trajectory. And I know I use that word a lot, but it's her trajectory, her emotional landscape, and I use that phrase a lot too. I guess I'm a boring talker. Um, is astounding. I use that word a lot too. I use a lot of the same words. For being a writer, it's quite embarrassing. Um, but what can I say? I mean, I just think that she takes this character of Jenny, and I just never that scene where she leaves her 1,000 acres is something that I don't think she ever thought she would do. She would always live on 1,000 acres, and she left her husband and started a new life. And her husband comes back to find her, not to bring her home, not to want to be with her again, but to tell her that she's changed, and she has. And the way she describes it is that the person that he knew, that he married, was a ninny, a simpleton, and she was. Jenny in the beginning was a very, um, very, what's the word? I want to say quiet, but she was a very, a ninny, a simpleton. She was someone who clearly always thought about others instead of herself, and she just totally found herself by having to, and she had to leave Thousand Acres, which was so hard for her because all her life, and she says this being typical of motherless children, her and her sister Rose were so close. So she really was afraid to leave. She didn't even know where she was going when she left. She only asked her husband for $1,000, uh, a dollar an acre. And I just love, I mean, that performance to me of Jessica Lange in A Thousand Acres is, it's on my, I know it's on my top nine. And it really is one of my, really, probably in my top three of favorite performances by an actress. And it's just because I just love her so much, Jessica Lange. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Barbara Streisand, as everybody knows. But Jessica Lange is my favorite actress. And I have a funny story. My friend Jason was talking about how he was going to Stratford, Toronto to see a couple of plays, and one of the plays he mentioned was Long Day's Journey into Night. Now, but Jessica Lange last year won a Tony Award for Long Day's Journey into Night, and this is on Broadway. But Jason mentioned he was going to Stratford, Toronto in Canada, and he was seeing Long Day's Journey into Night. And I told Jason, I said, let me tell you something. I don't know if she's still on Broadway, but if you're going to see Long Day's Journey into Night, and Jessica Lange is in that production at Stratford, Toronto, the production you're going to see, I will never, ever forgive you for going to see that. Or you will have to get me a ticket and get me up there somehow. I don't care if you have to put me in a box, UPS box, but I want to be there. I have to be there. And Jason just laughed and laughed and laughed because he was like thinking, he was like, you know, he knows how much Jessica Lange means to me. And I said, look, okay. So if you don't, I will forgive you, but um, but yes, you will have to put me in a box, a UPS box, if I have to get up there. And and if that doesn't work, and of course it won't, then you have to meet her and you have to tell her, look, I know Timothy. There's a guy named Timothy Verret. You're his favorite actress, and he's a huge Barbara Streisand fan. So for him to be putting you number one as his favorite actress, you just have to understand how meaningful that is. So please sign an autograph, do something, call him up on the cell, you know, text him, email him, something to let him know that, you know, just talk to him because he just needs to talk to you. I didn't say that to all that to Jason, by the way, but it just came to me just now. But we did talk about him. I said, look, find her in the dressing room. Intermission, not intermission. She probably would not allow anybody in there, but wait for her at behind the stage door when she leaves. Just tell her, like, look, I just know this guy Timothy Verret, and he just absolutely loves you, and you have to sign something. You have, so I can go back, so I can send it to him, and because otherwise he's not going to forgive me for having seen you in this performance, and he even wanted me to mail him in a box to go see you. So please find him. I mean, please sign this or find him. Sign, fine. You know, I love the rhyme, and that rhymes with fine and sign. Ah, see, I am comedic, and people tell me that all the time. You're really funny, Timothy. It's just that it's coming out. It's just taking its time. So anyway, that was my. I guess this is what this is going to be. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I may not even post it because once again I know how many of y'all love my videos and how much y'all wait for them. Grudge, nudge, drudge. I think drudge does rhyme with grudge. Drudge, drudgery, tudge, fudge, fudge rhymes with grudge. Well, you don't watch my videos, so you don't get no fudge. But I love you. God bless you. This is the day the Lord has made. Go out and make it a day of love, not just for you, but for everybody you encounter. Grudge and fudge. I used to never laugh. Is this a laugh of a madman? No. Amen.